So I'm underneath the truck hood here today, and as you know, a couple months ago I had some issues with the variable valve timing, and it turned out to be, what was it, oil. I guess there was just a lot of wear in it. I ended up putting the thicker oil in it, 5W30, and it fixed the problem. Everything's back to normal. But I don't know, maybe a month ago, it was a really hot day and the truck was sitting in the sun, and we jumped in it and we started driving, and I noticed that the air conditioner wasn't blowing out cold air, which I figure, this thing's got nearly 100,000 miles. It's about due to have air conditioning problems. But then I also noticed that the thermostat wasn't going up in temperature. I thought, ooh, this is serious. I mean, we got a radiator issue or something, or not the thermostat, the thermometer, the engine temperature wasn't going up. It was stuck at the, zero. I know it's not zero, but down, all the way down. So I thought, man, we got a serious problem. We probably have a stuck open thermostat, because the air conditioner and the radiator kind of work together. So I've been keeping it on the oil pressure sensor gauge on the truck. I've been leaving the display on that since I've always had since I already have an oil pressure problem. I always want to make sure that I have oil pressure. And I noticed, it's running really high. It was like at 80, which is, I think, max for its oil pressure. And it was just stuck there, it wasn't moving. So we didn't go any further. We went to the hardware store. That's where we were heading anyways. I got whatever I was going to get. That's only just it's a little ways from here. And then I came back, and I thought, there were so many issues that were unrelated to me. I mean, they just seemed unrelated. And I thought, I'm going to reset the computer. So I disconnected the battery cable, and I let it sit for, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours. I think we watched a movie. And the way you reset it is you disconnect your negative and your positive cables, and then you run a wire between the positive and negative cable. Now you take the battery out. Let's just assume you take the battery out. That way you're discharging any capacitors that are inside your computer, and that's supposed to completely reset it. The other way to do it is just disconnect it for a couple days. You disconnect your negative battery, and then that capacitor will drain automatically. Well, anyway, after the movie, I put it back together, started it, drove it around town. Everything was working perfectly. No issues. So we decided that we were going to start parking it underneath this tree to keep it a little bit shaded, because I thought it was the heat issue. And I still think it was a heat issue initially. And it was working fine. I mean, I think it did it one other time, but it was pretty hot today. Well, I don't know. About a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, it started doing it every time it would sit for a while. So what that means is I can drive it, set it at the Walmart parking lot, go shopping, come back out, and everything works fine. But if I let this set for 2 or 3 days, I don't know what it is after 24 hours, but because we never drive that much. But I let it sit for 2 or 3 days, and you can instantly tell. You start the car up, the truck up, the air conditioner doesn't work. You go over to the oil pressure sensor gauge, that's at 80. Oh, and one other thing that always happens is the fan comes on for the radiator, the cooling fan, and it doesn't shut off, even if you shut off the engine instantly. So the engine has had no time to warm up. So you turn it on, you instantly realize, oops, the computer's goofed up again. You shut it off, and the fan keeps running. It doesn't shut off at all. It just stays running. I don't know how long it would run, but I didn't want to find out. So I disconnected the battery cable. I waited a minute, connected it back up, and it worked just fine. Everything was fine. So I was thinking, well, the temperature was pretty hot throughout the week. The day we started it up, it wasn't that hot, but it had been pretty hot throughout the week. I thought, well, maybe it heated up and the computer wasn't, and if you Google it, it says that this can happen if it gets too hot. Well, I think it must have been damaged. You know, all this heat, I think the computer has been damaged because it does it every time now. So what I'm doing, I probably should just replace the computer is what I probably should do. But in the meantime, while I hate the thought of having to replace the $300, $400, $500 piece of, computer, I think I'm just going to continue to unplug the battery. So what I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 times I drove it is, as soon as I get done driving it, I park it here, I disconnect the battery cable. So it just sits here. And now when you plug it back up, you can hear the computer kick on. It makes this humming noise. It's quite obvious that the computer's coming on and getting everything checked out. But that seems to work for now, so we'll just continue to do that. That's not that hard to do, so I'll just keep doing it. I know somebody's going to say, oh, you should get that fixed. And I understand. I probably should get this fixed. But if it doesn't get any worse, I may just live with it. I mean, this is just an old truck. We've had it for, well, let's see, we're coming up on 11 years. February will be 11 years. It's got 100,000 miles on it. And it runs great. When I say that, I mean, obviously it has that issue, but once you reset it, it runs perfectly fine. I mean, not even a hiccup. So there's our, I'm sure that we're gonna end up stuck with those dogs. The other one's on the porch and she just lays there all day. So, but I'm not near as stressed about that issue as I was that oil pressure sensor issue, because that was affecting a lot of things. First of all, I was worried the oil pressure sensor, that we were going to have an issue with the truck. I mean, like it was going to blow up. So that was a big concern. And it also did cause drivability issues. It was shifting weird, and it was just doing a lot of strange things. And the check engine light kept coming on. The check engine light isn't coming on. And we have driven it quite a bit, so if it was going to come on, it would have. I think the reset time on the computer, it goes through its cycle. I think it's every 12 minutes. And so when we go to Walmart, we're much further than 12 minutes. So it should have tripped it in between here and Walmart, even though I'm resetting it. So the check engine light would have come on, is what I'm trying to say. But I guess we just harmed the computer. And it, when you buy a computer, like a desktop computer or a laptop, over a few years it will slow down and it'll have issues, and over time it'll just get worse and worse and worse until you end up buying a new computer. Well, I suspect that's what happened here. I mean, I remember I had I still got it. It doesn't work anymore. Won't even turn on. But I got a little tablet Windows computer. It's kind of a neat thing. I've had 2 of them in the past. But the same thing happened. We don't have air conditioning, so it overheated one summer, and I had issues with it every day after that. I mean, it just struggled to do anything until eventually it just stopped working. So I suspect that's what's going to happen with this, and that I'll just take it to the mechanic at that point and have him fix it. So, I mean, my concern is if it just gives up and then we have to get a tow truck. What I'm hoping will happen is it won't reset anymore like it is right now. Unplug the battery cable, and that way I can still drive it. I get over to the mechanic, and that way he can just replace that computer. So that's my hope. But yeah, I know I probably should, and I might, but the thing is we're coming up on an inspection. So Missouri requires your first inspection after your 10th year of your truck. So the truck is 10 years old, so on the 12th year, because I buy 2-year plates, we'll have to get it inspected. So I need new tires. So that's so in January, I guess I should say January, February, yeah, well, January, I guess, I don't know, whatever month. I guess I have February tags. I'll have to we'll have 1 year. So next summer I will get the tires changed, because they're going to need change. I got to get the brakes changed over because they're getting pretty thin, not wore out, but thin. I also want to get the belts changed and the transmission fluid and the rear end fluid changed, or I'll get all that taken care of. So there's money coming up on this truck, so want to be cautious on what we're spending and why we're spending it, and do we have to spend it. But like I said, right now it doesn't seem to be affecting the truck at all, other than I got to jump out and shut off the, unplug the negative wire. And I'm almost tempted to just put a switch on it so I can just do it from inside the cab. So, I don't know. Oh, Carolyn's cooking a turkey. She's doing it in the pressure cooker. So, I heard the pressure cooker going. It's the first time we've done it this way. So we bought a whole turkey because meat is so expensive, but the turkey was pretty cheap. But we don't have, I mean, we can put it in the oven, but sometimes they don't fit in that little oven we got. So she decided to put it in here, so we're gonna try that. And I can only imagine this is gonna be the best turkey we've ever had. I mean, I've had a fried turkey, that was pretty good. But I bet this is gonna do amazing. Pretty excited about it. And, you know, I pretty much stopped canning. You know, we were canning chicken all that time, but it just took so much time to can that much food. So what Carolyn's thinking about doing now that we have the freezer, see, I started that canning when we didn't have a freezer. But now we have a freezer, just go buy that bag chicken for, what is it, 10 bucks? And pressure cook it, and then freeze it. In individual meals, you know, just... it's a 10-pound bag, I guess, so just put it in Ziploc bags and freeze it. And then, the next time you cook chicken, you take the bones after you're done from the last batch you did, and you boil those down, then you grind them up, and you can make dog food out of it. So, I guess we're gonna be making dog food. So, I don't think I've told you this. Carolyn's been split, well, I know I've told you that Carolyn's been splitting firewood. You got a stack over here. And there's a stack up on the porch, and she's got the house full of firewood now. But the other day she was splitting with the little hatchet here, and she got it to crack open, and a snake fell out of it. So that's always my fear when we're having to split wood this, you know, in the late summer. And with the temperatures being so cool here recently, they're probably even hiding in these spots even more so. Whereas if it wasn't so cold, they would probably be out hunting under rocks trying to, you know, get food. But they're hiding inside firewood. Tells me they're thinking it's about hibernation time, fall time. Their senses are probably goofed up. So we got to be extra careful, and it really has. I mean, she splits all the firewood. She's done it, and I don't want to interfere with it. She seems to enjoy it. But she has slowed down since the snake incident, which I don't blame her. And so I keep thinking, man, I should come out here. But I don't want to deal with the snakes either. And she couldn't see what kind it was. You know, it happened so fast. She wasn't even understanding what was going on when it dropped out of that piece of firewood. And it was pretty much gone by the time she realized what it was, so she didn't have a chance to really analyze what type of snake it was. But copperheads are having, you know, babies right now. So that is a huge risk. We've never seen a copperhead here. We've seen tons of black snakes, a few garter snakes, but never a copperhead. So we've been fortunate with that. But we know they exist because we see Facebook posts with pictures of copperheads everywhere around here. So I don't know why we're so fortunate. We got plenty of areas that copperheads would love to live. So hope we never see one. So I guess I'll jump off of here. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video over my other channel. Really appreciate it. Go check it out. So if I can inspire you to prioritize so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.